Too bad I'm determined to use the ice stiletto and see how useful it actually is. I guess I could still equip it on Keelan just to show you anyway. In the original game, I think it's classified as a hafted weapon, which makes no sense at all, considering it's clearly a type of blade. But maybe technically it would be a pole weapon, given the model is the same as the Chaos Staff. No, we're just gonna choose to believe. We're gonna pretend, okay? We're just gonna pretend it's cool. But man, since Chaos Toughs are kind of uncommon, that includes Slayers, Maulers, Lieutenants, and Majors, the 4 toughest Chaos enemies, the items they can drop from their chart are a little more common than other enemy types, and with 4 of them in that fight, it's a pretty good chance you'll get something out of them. But we didn't get lucky today, so it's not like we need it, right? You saw how successful we were, jeez. It's time to get the rest of this game on a roll. So, we fixed the lighthouse, and we did the thing, all the fun stuff. Now, we can talk to a man here.
Now, men, all hands! Do ye remember that, sweet order, or are you just a bunch of land-loving slugs? Stewards, quick below and call, all hands, light is lit, we sail!
Amann, you are alone on the pier.
Not one more night in the port, not one more second in this rat-trap town!
Amann!
Get lost, kid, I'm busy.
You don't remember me?
I remember, and I'm surprised you're back. Now, if you don't mind, get lost, kid, I'm busy.
You didn't tell me there'd be monsters starting to camp.
Didn't I? I believe I mentioned something, sir. Could be oversight. Could be you weren't listening. Now, if you'll excuse me.
You promised a boat.
I promised.
You know you did. Now, there's your light.
Look, boy. You said you needed to sail to Cerdog's Isle. Well, I've heard of the place, and you made a big impression. Now, I don't know who or what you are or how you managed on them cliffs, but I am sure that it's not anything natural. I know myself that the tower is charmed, and I have lost crew enough not to need no one of any more. Whatever you may be, magician, sorcerer, or worse, I don't want you on deck.
A deal's a deal.
You got no deal, mate, and you won't get one neither, not to Cerdog's Isle.
You're right, I'm a dangerous magician.
I'm warning you, boy, whatever you think you can do to me.
How much do you want for the boat?
How much? I don't know what cargo I carry. We sail. Anything might happen. You got some money? It'll cost you.
Name your price.
I'm selling blind. Who are you, anyway?
A traveler and nothing more.
You're lying to me.
That was the wrong context of your.
400?
Done. I have it right here. This is one of the few monetary barriers in Aidyn. It's not a very big one. I mean, 400 gold is piddles even in this mod, but you gotta have it.
Later. I'll prime the ship. Meet me here before the next tide.
Don't even think of sailing without me. You can talk to him again and have to pay him 400 again, but you're actually supposed to just walk over here and initiate the cutscene to leave.
What took you so long? Ah, free again from this prison you call land. Looks pretty rough out there.
And now there's like a million cutscenes on our way to our next destination.
Anchors away!
Sailing off with a man.
Did you get a chance to mention that bad storm to a man?
What? Oh, my. Sorry, Dan. I thought you were supposed to tell him.
You know, Connie, a man sure has a nice location for a shop.
I think he'd want us to have it if he didn't make it back.
I think you're right, honey. No sense in wasting time.
I'll try and find the locksmith. This is just the kind of town Port Said is. Captain, how long will it take to get to the Neighbor's Isle?
Kid, if you ask me again, I'll turn this ship into tinder and burn the thing out from under.
Sorry, I'm just anxious. What are you looking at, man?
Quick, get your weapons out! We're under attack! Up there!
Griffins! And this griffin just drops in out of nowhere. So, fun fact about this game. There's an unused enemy in the database called the Giant Squid that people suspect were supposed to be fought here. Which makes sense, in a way, because, well, obviously you're at sea, you're going to get attacked by giant squids, but the enemy itself is actually just a giant tentacle sticking up out of the ground. We discovered this through some clever model swapping with bites. We've got, like, a screen cap of it on the Reddit somewhere. But, like, yeah, it's just this giant tentacle, it's not actually the whole squid. But the funny thing about these griffins is that they will not move or attack until you get right up next to them, and it seems as if they are using the tentacles AI instead of their own. Because, like, I actually gave griffins a spell in this mod, and they will not cast it in this battle. Their behavior here is totally abnormal for what griffins would normally do in the rest of the game. Which is kind of interesting, because that suggests that enemy AI is mapped to the battle and not to the enemy. Very peculiar. But anyway, they're, about as bad as they were. They've still got their buzzard bite, which hits like a truck. But they also are mythological enemies, so they do solar damage. And that means they override physical resistance, and that's why they almost killed Keelan in one hit. You bastards! I won't let you! I'll exercise you! Oh god. Oh, right. This battlefield is a little bit peculiar. Whenever you've got a spell that goes outside of the ring, it pops out of the map. Because you can't cast it on the other side. Oh, that's problematic. What can I do to save Keelan, if anything? I don't think I can. I mean, if I cast this here, it's just gonna hit her. Maybe I can move further away and still catch the minute before I move it. Now I'm only hitting myself. Can I get close enough to hit the griffin but not her? I would like to. Can I get close enough? Dang it, are you serious? Are you for real? It's either all of them or... Wow, that stinks. Alright, I guess Galaron's gotta skip his turn. Rada, would you save Keelan, please? Oh, actually, the griffin kind of backed up a little. Anyway, we'll talk about griffins properly whenever we fight some proper griffins. But these ones seem to be using the AI of the enemy that is unused. They will only attack when you get close enough for them to hit you, and oh my god, that did 60 damage. Bad griffin, bad! How did it survive that? It had like a sliver of health left. It took 22! Go down, you horrid creature. My god. Brutal, just brutal. We beat him. Anyway. I'll have more to say about the giant squid later. Like, way, way later. Don't worry about it for now.
You must hold tight there, lad. That there storm's getting worse by the minute.
I've never seen a storm so big.
Aye, we're in for a blow, that's certain.
Should I get below deck, Captain?
Play the ghosts, boy, no! This ain't no ordinary storm. Don't you see how those thunderheads seem to close in on us? I tell ya, it's black magic. And that's for sure.
If you had a plan for when we reach this point, boy,
now would be the time to tell it.
That branch that Uraza gave me, it's tied to the helm.
Helm? I don't see nothing on the helm.
Right there! And here's where Aileron's nautical inexperience causes a mishap.
That ain't the helm, you bilge bug! That's the mast!
Oh, why didn't you tell me?
We are doomed as ducks, ain't we?
Not because of a little mistake like that. Nah.
Look out!
That stick is the key to calming the winds. Let's give it a little help. As you can see, there's a terrible storm raging all around us.
I know nothing about bridges, but if your Azza says it'll calm that storm, then hop to it!
Or hop to it. That's him trying to pronounce Uraza without actually knowing the name. It's funny.
The first wave's about to hit us. Holy, look at the rain tear up the sea like that! Help away, by all means!
Now, what did she say? What was it? Apparently she was supposed to have taught him, like, some incantation or whatever. It's getting rough, Aileron! Whatever you're going to do it quick! I need some room, man.
You're on a ship, boy. This is all the room we got.
Thanks.
Unbelievable the crew I get these days. Go on!
Whoa, that magic was so impressive.
Oh, Jimmy, that looks like some good branch to me.
But
that wind and those waves are going to batter my poor boat like an angry troll.
Have no fear, Captain. That branch is a gift from the Mirari. It'll calm the wind and allow us to pass through the storm.
And the lightning? Lances of doom they are if they strike my poor ship. Will your branch help us against that?
Your Rosa never mentioned anything about lightning. Well,
wonderful. Absolutely splendid, lad.
It's air magic, man. Don't worry about it.
Would you care to summon up a sea monster for us as well? I mean, why stop at sorcerer's lightning?
I've never seen lightning like that. I can't see lightning at all, Elrond.
Neither have I, lad. Neither have I.
I don't know what you mean.
I mean, your skills ain't natural, and neither are you. And whoever or whatever stands against you ain't natural either.
What's the matter, Captain? Don't you like magic?
Why did I ever allow myself to carry you?
I'm nobody important.
Right, and I'm a dancing master. Look out, here it comes. You'd best get below, lad, now!
But you said it was a bad idea to go below. Magic or no magic, I don't like this storm a bit. Neither do I.
Ah, stop that bellyaching and learn to crew! Flash that sail, man, and pull those lines! Move, you scurvy dogs, or we'll all be bitten down on the bottom of the world!
This might have been more convincing if there were actual other sailors on the boat. It might have been more convincing if a lot of things. Whatever.
Boy, it's an island! We'll have to stop for repairs.
Do you recognize the island?
We'll worry about where we are later. We've got to make land, fast!
This island is safe.
Anyways, don't worry, it looks harmless enough to me.
This Amann voice is killing me. Not gonna lie.
Ah, just look at her. I can't believe it. She's totally intact, but way offshore.
That was some storm.
Well, that's what comes of sorcery, I suppose.
Why didn't your Rosa's stick work?
Beats me. Could have something to do with the fact that you don't know a mast from a helm. And I'll say this much, there's not a bit of damage where that stick's magic shined. Must have been something to it after all.
Maybe this really is one of them legendary storm breakers. That's what it is. That's what it is, man.
We're not going anywhere for a while. There's damage to the sail and part of the bow. The foremast is split.
How long before we set out?
A while. It's not like we washed up on a port or even a town. In fact, this has got to be one of the most forsaken bits of coast I've seen in a long time.
Any idea where we are?
None. Whatever this island is, it's not on any chart I know.
It's on my chart.
But then again, maybe it ain't supposed to be. Am I right, boy?
About what?
Magic is as magic does. You sure this ain't the spot you were headed to?
I don't think so.
Oh, you don't? Well, in case you hadn't noticed, boy, you aren't quite aware of all that's happening to you. I saw that the minute I laid eyes on you.
The island does have a magic lair.
Does it? Well then, why don't you quit guessing it's this and that and the other? Why don't you quit asking me what we turned up? Why don't you take a little walk and go find out?
I'll stay if you don't mind.
Suit yourself. You're in for a long week.
You trying to get rid of me, Amann?
Oh, sir. I don't need any magicians coming after me on the sea.
I'm not a magician.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Just excuse me a moment, would you, Mr. No One Nobody?
All right.
Now you're talking. I'll stay and fix the ship.
So welcome to Chaos Isle, where the Chaos Peoples live. Hooray! Honestly, one of the cooler areas we get to visit, but it's also a place we kind of get locked into. A storm forced us to land on a lonely, forbidding place. Surely this can't be Cerdog's Island. That stupid man has to fix the thing before we can sail again. I wonder how long that will take. God, Elrond, be a whinier teenager, would you? You get friggin' shipwrecked. You should be just glad you're alive. Over here, you're whining. Amann?
I know why you're here, boy, and I've got some bad news for you. We're not ready.
How much longer do you think?
Not much. Just a few more repairs to the mast, and we're on our way.
The mast?
Nothing to be concerned with, boy, but I won't have it blown over out there on the water. Go on. Go enjoy the port. We'll be done before you know what's what.
What else you gotta say? Right or not, we need to sail.
We can't go nowhere far without the mast.
If this is some trick...
This is no trick, mate. It's basic seamanship. Your adventure will have to wait. Not too long, just a while. Why don't you see what's happening in town?
Yes, quote-unquote, town. So, funny story about all that stuff we just went through. It seems that at some point in the game's development, they decided to axe a little side quest where you could go to Port Said early if you wanted, but if you did not have the Stormbreaker, and you tried to sail with Amann, you would still get kicked back to Port Said. You would need you would need the Stormbreaker to advance to this point. And the reason I know this is because there are cutscenes worth of dialogue in the database, well, in the game's data, that describe, you can like tell from what they're talking about that you set sail without the Stormbreaker. But yeah, at some point they decided to nix the whole thing, and they prevent you from entering Port Said until you've talked to Ardra, and you can't talk to Ardra until you have Stormbreaker. So it's completely impossible to get your plot flags crossed up like that. Which is fairly interesting, and I don't know why they couldn't get it to work or whatever. But in a way, it does save the player a lot of trouble, because like going back to Aramon from this point would be a huge pain. But anyway, like I said, this is Chaos Isle, and the monsters here are almost entirely chaos-oriented. We've run into the crabs again, and this is my chance to talk about the thing that I didn't get to talk about with them before. So, in the original game, even, it doesn't look like it, but these guys actually have a shield. It's a shield that is unique to them. It's called the Crab Shield, appropriately enough. And it is a shield that does not have a model. It's actually a pretty good item. It's 5 protection, 5 defense for no dexterity cost. And in terms of availability, it's one of the earliest shields that... Ah, dang it, guy. That does not penalize dexterity. But you can't see them holding it because it has no model. And, of course, in this mod I made that item available to obtain. But... man, these guys are just totally brutalizing Keelan. But the problem I have with items that don't have models is that, it's kind of janky. Like, how do you excuse the existence, or non-existence, of an item that you're equipping? So to rectify this, the only thing I could really do was to rename the shield, and I gave it the name Unseen Shield. There's a good chance we'll be finding one somewhere on this island, because there are a lot of crab people we can kill to get them. But yeah, that's the story with that. And in lieu of Chaos Shields, which are now super rare and only held by, like, high-ranking enemies of the Chaos orders, Crab Shields are a pretty nice alternative when you can't obtain the really good stuff you used to be able to. Although I won't say no to some Scorpion Shields if we find those sooner. There's only one place you technically need to visit on this island to get things rolling back again, but it's easily one of the most interesting locations in the game, and we're going to be exploring it as fully as possible. Because why wouldn't we? Do it again, Brenna. Lunar Eclipse. Might be able to kill the crab. Down he goes. Yes. Hooray.